You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
The wasteland is a host of apocalyptic mess. As the sole survivor wanders out, about to see the rest. Nuclear explosions sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, frozen atomic waves. From deep within the core, frozen atomic waves.
Hello and welcome to the 65th edition of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. It's the 5th episode of Season 7. Welcome, everyone. We are the show who compares and contrasts Fallout experiences through a lively roundtable discussion by playing through the same quests with characters who have been randomly assigned drastically different attributes. Welcome, everyone. I am Andrew, joined this evening by two of my favorite people on Earth. We have with us Sarah. Hello, Sarah.
Hello.
And Ray. Hi, Ray.
Evening, Andrew.
How are we doing this evening? What sort of Fallout you guys been playing this week?
76. And a little bit of 4.
4, really? What are you doing in 4?
I've been playing around with the new Sim Settlement Conquerors.
Oh, how's that been going? Yeah. How's that? What are your thoughts?
It's interesting. They're updating it so fast. It's hard to keep on top of the updates, but so far it's been a lot of fun.
Any highlights or horror stories?
You get to kill Marcy straight up.
Nice.
You don't even have to take her back to Sanctuary Hills to do it.
June is the one I want to bump off, man.
Why?
You can get him too.
He's just a sad sack. I don't know.
I know. He's so sad. You're just going to put him out of his misery?
Yeah, it's not easy.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, he puts
Poor
up a
guy.
fight, so he can't
They
appreciate
really-
it that bad.
Does Marcy put up a fight?
Oh yeah,
What about Mama
Okay.
Murphy? How much does she hassle you?
she runs.
Really? She doesn't even put up her dukes or anything?
No, yeah, but
Come on.
you have a hard time catching her because she keeps ducking in rooms and running out the other side and
Oh.
running around in circles. It's
They gave her a 9 agility or something then, huh?
yeah.
It's all that jet, man.
Wow, yeah, it's all the jet and psycho she's
For
pumped up.
human strength.
That's hilarious. Okay, well, tonight on the show, we've got some quests to go through for the roundtable format. Any new listeners out there? Our roundtable, we describe it on the top of the show. You heard we all play the same quest. We have a random character generator on our website, asapodcasting.com. This is a very slow burn of a project. If you're just picking up our show now, please hop on in, go over, create yourself a character. You can find the schedule for all the quests we're playing there too. And like I said, this is a very slow burn project. We've had people hopping on mid-season, catching up in just a couple days, and then submitting feedback for us already. So if you are just finding us, welcome. We'd love to have you here. Thank you for finding us. And please hop on in. The water's warm. Get your tootsies all nice and cozy in the water here pool with us. This is a fun project. We like to get feedback from our listeners. So we sort of alternate shows. We do a roundtable episode and then a feedback episode. And we like to hear from all of our community members. This is a community-based project first and foremost. We keep that in mind. We have people send our feedback in here to thefalloutfeed@gmail.com. Like to keep that around 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, to keep it, just keep in mind that there's a bunch of other people sending in feedback too. So we don't want the show to get, 5, 6 hours long. Ray, of course, needs his beauty sleep. So we can get into some quests this evening. We'll be doing Signal Strength, Flavors of Mayhem, and Key to the Past. These quests are all, like we mentioned last time we gathered, under the umbrella of the main quest of the Missing Link. And if you're familiar, if you've done the Railroad quest in Fallout 4, you remember that part when you said you're doing one big Railroad quest, but you were actually doing about 8 different Institute quests as you're being a spy in the Institute for the Railroad. It's sort of that thing where you have this big umbrella quest called the Missing Link, and underneath that you're doing 3 different quests. For Rose, the Raider robot that we find over at top of the world. So we will go ahead and start with signal strength here in just a minute. But Sarah, did you get any Fallout in this week? You've been the PC group been gathering and wrecking havoc anywhere?
Yeah, I have gotten a little bit done, but my weeks are blending together. So I did a little bit by myself the other day while my daughter was asleep. She was napping. And I think Phil came on with me a little bit. I don't know. I've been running around the wasteland. I've been failing miserably at some of these quests. And I'm learning now, Ray and I were talking about this before the show started, that having a team is very helpful in many of these quests. So
Yeah.
it's been
If
good.
not imperative.
Yeah.
If not imperative, yeah. There are definitely pieces that I would not have got. Oh, I take it back. Yes, I have been playing. It's just, it takes me a while to come. It's like all the gaming sessions kind of stream together. Do you feel that way, Ray?
Yeah, it definitely. It's like, wait a minute, who did I play with
Who did
this?
I play with? Like bits and pieces are coming back. Yeah. Oh, I had a team with me for part of the time. It was very helpful.
Yeah, I can't agree more. Now that I'm up until level 70, there are I still die all the time, but there are a few situations that I just find hopeless. You know what I mean? Down when I was in the 20s and going into Wendigo Cave, it was just an impossibility. I had to go. I think it was Craig at that point. It was months ago. That was right after the beta had finished, and we were just sort of getting into the game. I remember going in there and just dying 20, 30 times in a row.
Yeah.
Just get so fucking frustrated, and he was like, God damn. And then I saw Craig's like, Craig, come on, help me out. Or maybe it was even Leon. It might have been Leon. Now that I remember it. Anyway, we get to go back there to this cave. Alex joined me in there this evening, so I was doing a mad dash to try to get all the quests finished up for the show tonight, and I fell just a little tiny bit short of getting just the final reward for the last quest. So Ray did happen to chime in on that, so we're going to have to fall back on Ray's expertise to see what is in this Raider stash at the end of these 3 quests that we get into. Sarah, how many of the quest did you get through tonight? Did you?
I am in my game. I am on my way to the really scary cave of death. So that's as far as I got.
And not only a scary cave of death, but just a winding like maze of a tomb of a crazy place. Like it is impossible to find my way through there. There's just a circle of figure eights as far as I can tell.
Really?
Little infinity signs everywhere in them. No, I'm of course kidding, but I get turned around in that cave a lot. I always think, oh, okay, here's the Wendigo. He's over this way. And oh, wait a second, I'm exiting into Appalachia again. Shit.
So I plan on taking a posse with me, preferably a posse that's already done this. And I know that Phil and Eddie and Ray have. So I'm going to be messaging you guys when I'm on my way there.
No, but it's a good time in that cave. Lots of fun folks to visit with. Signal Strength, I played 2 weeks ago, basically right after our last recording session, with Keith. He and I were running around together, and we did a couple of quests, and one of them was Signal Strength that we kicked off. But that was a couple weeks ago now. Sarah, have you done that one more freshly than I?
I think I did it right around the same time that you did. And I think I did it twice. Ray, did we do it together?
No, not that one.
Not that one. Okay. I know that Phil and I did the airplane, the downed airplane. What is the word for that? Airplane crash? Crash site?
Crashed. Yeah. Crash
Yeah.
site.
So Phil and I did that part, and we did the other part together, where you go to the big satellites. I think where you get the other part. Yeah. We yeah.
No, go ahead.
We made a lot of robots really mad over there. And we died quite a bit. It was actually really fun. So yeah, it was good times. But maybe
No.
we should start at the beginning.
You sort of say that. I don't know. It just sounds weird to say we died a ton of times and we're having a great time.
Yeah.
It is weird how they've taken the sort of drama out of dying,
Yeah.
and especially down in the cranberry bog, at least, when I'm dying over and over again, finding the Scorch Beast Queen or something like that, and there's another teammate there, you can just keep reloading onto that teammate, and it only takes like a 5-second screen. So
Right.
dying over and over, who cares?
Hmm.
It's great.
You just got to make sure that one of you stays alive long enough to come back to them.
Yeah, that's true. It helps to have
So
3 or
yeah.
4 people with you.
Phil and I were trying to like rotate dying, just like try to coordinate it a little bit.
Wait, no,
So you've
we're
always
not.
got somewhere to spawn.
It's my turn.
Yeah, basically, I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Stay alive, stay alive. He's like, okay, I got it.
That's hilarious. Good job, Phil.
Phil's the man.
What's he wearing? Has he still got that crazy mask on?
Sometimes he plays as Sammy and sometimes he plays as Gracie. Both have an awesome set of horns. And yes, Sammy is probably the creepy looking one that you're thinking of.
And, set of horns, I assume you mean like the tuba and trumpet and trombone set?
No, I think it's the horns that came with the Christmas set. It's like a reindeer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was joking.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. I didn't get your dad joke. My bad.
Come on, man. Come on. All right, so let's go ahead and dig into signal strength. We'll go. Wait, actually, no. Ray, did you by chance read the new? What's their dumb newsletter that they have a stupid name for called?
What?
What is their newsletter thing? In the vault? No.
You're so angry.
There's no anger in my tone at all. Just chiding them a little bit. Good natured lark here. No, what is it called though? It's not out of the vault. What is it called?
I don't know that I paid attention.
Their little blog thing that they make their announcements from every week.
Yeah.
I don't know. So they made some sort of announcement about Scorch Beast Queen balance. I don't even know what they're going to do yet. I didn't read the article, but I've been super mad. Of course, a couple weeks ago in the Facebook group, I don't know if the Facebook group is probably our Xbox meetup chat thread that we have. Speaking of which, any new members out there, we have a chat thread for each Xbox, PS4, and PC. If you'd like to meet up with anyone, we sort of say, hey, I'm hopping on here in a few minutes if anybody wants to join up. So if you want to be a member of any of those, go ahead and meet up in our Facebook thread there. Sorry, I forgot what I was saying. I don't even remember what I was saying. So we'll go ahead and
You were talking about the article, like the blog.
Yeah,
We're going to call it the Iguana Bits blog.
You were mad about the Scorched Queen.
No, I'm not. Why do you guys think I'm so mad? I'm not mad about anything.
I'm mad. I don't
I
know.
can hear the rage in your voice.
Why are you so grumpy?
Yeah, that's Scorch Beast. She stinks. Okay, no, what I was mad at. Of course I was ranting in one of our chat threads about. No, I wasn't ranting. People were saying how much crashing they've had and what a bad experience like they get. All these, and I was saying, well, I've seen pretty fairly stable. And people were saying, well, I've got the Xbox One S or X or some special format of the Xbox, and it runs much better. And I was like, well, I've just got the old original one, and it seems to run fine to me. I don't have many crash problems. My stability seems pretty fine. I don't have any trouble getting in and out. My social menu works just dandy. And this week, after the last patch, every single thing that I just mentioned in the previous sentence has just been fucked. My social menu doesn't work. I can't meet up with anyone. I'm crashing constantly. I'm trying to load into the game to infinite load screens and it just like goes and goes and goes. 5 minutes goes by. I'm looking at my watch. Okay, is it just taking along? Is it gonna go? And then no. So it just gets stuck in another 10-minute load screen. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? And then the load screen changes. It used to be a double load screen from the last update. Now my load screens are one huge long fucking in color picture from what I did, from my photo mode or something, and then a very long just black screen where the wheel in the corner doesn't rotate. It just turns into the Vault Tech symbol, but it doesn't. Usually it sort of like pulsates to show you that it's loading, but it doesn't do anything. It just sits there motionless, so you think that it's frozen, but if you let it sit there for another 3 minutes, eventually it'll go back to a third load screen, which is another photo mode picture, and that one is significantly shorter. But still, what the fuck is going on?
Welcome to being part of playing on PC for the last few weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't had any of the loading screen issues, but I've been kicked off quite a bit. Our social menu has really never worked from the get-go. I think I was telling you, Ray, that for like a week, it would say that Ray was online. And then when I would log in to stalk him, I would end up finding Phil, which is fine. But it said Ray was online. So I was expecting to see Ray, but I would always run up and find Phil, which is fine.
That did start happening 2 weeks ago. I would click on Craig and end up in Alex's world. I'd click on Pat and end up in Craig's world. I'd click on Keith and end up in Leon's world. It was just everything was crisscrossed in the social menu. Now when I log in, I just don't see. It's like I used to get an error message that said, cannot load your social menu, check back in a few minutes or something like that.
Really?
Now it doesn't load it at all. It's just a blank thing, and I don't get the error message. So I have to go Xbox. Xbox has their own separate social menu and Xbox Live or whatever. You can meet up in parties and chats and join games that way. So I've just abandoned the horrible social menu at this point, and I've just been meeting up and chatting solely through the Xbox format because Bethesda has proven theirs is untrustworthy at best.
So we have had the most ridiculous audio issues on our side. I mean, I honestly feel like we spent more time the other night trying to figure out our audio issues than we did playing. So, oh my gosh, it was so annoying. Like Ray could hear like everyone but one person.
Yeah, everybody but Phil.
Yeah, poor Phil. And so we're trying to get a Discord together. We're going to try and make our own. Like we brought back to life the ASA Discord, which is awesome.
Oh, nice.
But we need to figure out how to get our own little like PC chat channel going because we want to try and use it on our Twitch stream that's coming up this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, so Lee and I tested that tonight, and he was able to record. Yep.
Perfect. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Sweet. Good deal. Twitch stream this weekend for the PC crew. Fun times. Now, it is February. It was a crunch time for me. I mentioned at least last week, if not a couple weeks ago. The RPM Challenge. I suggest any musicians out there go to rpmchallenge.com. Look it up. It's a fun project. Record 10 songs or 30 minutes of music. All original material. Nothing written before the month of February. Got to do everything spontaneously starting February 1st. Last weekend, starting Friday, after Mo and I got home from his swim lessons, we sat down and wrote 3 songs on Friday. And Saturday we wrote 4 songs, and on Sunday we finished up and wrote the last 3 songs. So I've got all my 10 songs written. And then today I've got 3 of them started on the recording. So the project is underway, and which means that my video game time is severely reduced. So I had to cram in this evening all of these quests that we're getting into. But Bernie said that he was going to hop on and try the RPM challenge. So here's a mention on the podcast, Bernie. How's it going? Got songs down? Got recording going? What's your process? Write us an email. Let us know what you do. I write all my songs first, and then I try to bust them out recording. What sort of format do you do? It's interesting to hear.
So hold
yeah, go ahead.
on. Does Mo help you write songs?
He like help.
He's more like a producer, right? It's
Yeah.
like, no. That one's terrible. You rewrite that.
On the I sort of have my phone, and how I come up with song ideas. I'm just sort of like just coming up with chord progressions or whatever, and singing nonsense syllables instead of actual
Mhm.
real words, just to come up with melodies and stuff like that. And all of my demo recordings that I do of just my voice memo app on my phone, the last 2 years I have him in the background, and like he's singing right along, like
Oh,
you
that's so
can hear his little voice
cute.
in the background, or
Oh
like
my gosh.
or you can like hear him walk up and like put his hand on the strings and like hold the guitar, like he's trying to like
Oh.
play along, but he just like
Mhm.
grabs the strings and
Yeah.
prevents them from
That's
making sound. And then he like last year he'd get all confused, like, why did it sound stop? Oh, because you grabbed the strings.
See, he's getting it. That's how it starts. That's awesome.
Yeah. No, but he likes it. He likes the music. He'll sit there and shake his little butt when we're playing guitar and stuff. He and I we haven't done one in a while, but we used to have all vinyl dance parties. The house that we moved into, it came with one of those old hi-fi stereo systems from the 60s.
Wow.
So we've got an old record player, and I was like a college radio DJ, so I've got like lots of old vinyl, and we like to go through it and play some old like funk records and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Little kid shakes his butt. Can't shake him too hard. You got records going in the living room, though. You'll skip the needle right off the thing. Don't do it too hard.
That's awesome.
Do you play the radio when you play Fallout? Do you have Appalachia radio going?
I actually don't, and I feel like that makes me a weird person because everyone else I talk to has the radio going in the background. Ray, do you
Really?
listen to the radio?
Not until I can get a mod that plays more songs, because the repeat is a little too short for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you listen to it at all, Ray. I was gonna say there's no way Ray has any interest in listening to the radio.
Well, they're
Yeah.
fun songs.
Yeah.
Once.
How
Yeah.
about the soundtrack music? Do you just turn all the music off, or do you listen to the score?
No, I've got the music going.
Same. Same.
Yeah.
I like it. It's peaceful, and there are parts that remind me of Skyrim, actually.
I was just about to say this game, the music is way more Skyrim than Fallout to me. Like,
Yeah. It's
the
very
Fallout
Skyrim-y.
Fallout 4 music, especially the intro song, was just like very dark and almost metallic sounding, whereas this intro has lots of lights, like lilting strings and very light like movement of music, and
Mhm.
it's just very, you're right, it's just way more Skyrim than it is Fallout 4 to me. But this guy didn't do Skyrim, did he did do Fallout 4, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Conductor, I believe the same music conductor did
Yeah. 4
Fallout
and
4
76. Yeah.
and 76, but he's not the Skyrim music person that I know of.
So he's the composer?
Yes. And I,
Interesting.
if I were a good host, I'd be able to name his name off the top of my head, but I do not know it. I think I actually follow him with the Fallout account on Twitter at the Fallout Feed. Anyone out there, follow us. Twitter.
Ian Zeri. Is it Ian?
I thought it was Ian something.
Einan Zur.
Zur. Yeah.
INONZUR. Has a long history with the Fallout franchise.
How about Enon? I bet you it's
Enon Zur. Thank you, Mr. Zur.
So
We
now I'm
appreciate
interested. Who did Skyrim? He didn't do Skyrim though. All right, so we're getting into the show here. We might as well get these quests going, y'all. So why don't we go ahead and get into signal strength? Ray, you're gonna have to help us out with Key to the Past, but let's not just like take them singly. Let's stumble through all these together tonight, guys.
Love it.
Perfect.
Good way to go through them here.
I love stumbling through stuff.
Kind of the
All
way
right.
I did them.
Right?
I think it's all over the eastern half of the map there with these.
Yeah.
So where did we end off last? We're starting the quest, The Missing Link, and everyone's confused, like, oh god, I thought we're supposed to finish this quest. No, it's just an overarching quest. We're just starting The Missing Link and finishing it over a couple episode period. So while we're doing The Missing Link, we start with Signal Strength. And we're instructed to go to the top of the world. The Overseer has a cache there, so probably a holotape or something sent us there. So it was a couple weeks ago. I forget how I got there.
Yeah, there's a holotop. There's a holotop in there.
Hop atop top.
There's a Halo Top ice cream, which is a
Oh,
wonderful brand of ice cream.
locale, yeah.
Protein, very nice. Keeps
So
you know, full in the
have to tune
wasteland.
You have to tune into the radio station, and you hear Rose, begin berating you and telling you that you don't get to come up until you fix a radio.
Right. She just came on over mine. I didn't change my radio station. She just barged right in.
How was she getting onto my Pip-Boy radio if her damn radio is broken?
Well, it's not so much that the radio is broken; it just doesn't have the range that she wants.
She needs bigger wattage.
So then you're off to find the parts to fix the radio signal, and so you have to go to. It looks like a little hotel, but they call it a visitor center, I think. Seneca Rock, which is just to the north of the top of the world. And it's full of scorched and one of those honey beast things.
I like those.
Really?
Guys.
I don't remember that at all. Did you guys get sent to the airplane crash, or is that a different part of the quest and I'm just confused?
No, that's the next piece.
There's a couple
Okay,
different
all right.
things.
Might be. I think I just blacked out and don't remember that part.
Blacked out.
Blacked out.
Do they have to do them in that order? Does she always send you to the
No, I think it gives you both locations at the beginning of the quest.
Okay. And is it the little circles? Do they put the little circles where you have to search in this
Right. I hate that.
100-yard area?
I hate it. Just give me the damn marker.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is that you can incite the honeybees to attack the scorched that are there. And also sit on the there's a cliff just behind and above the visitor center, and you can sit up there and pick off the scorched from up high.
Huh.
What's your range weapon?
Hunting rifle.
You a high scoped not neon. What's it called? Glowing? No. What are the
Glow
scopes?
sight?
Glow
Glow
sight.
sight? Yeah.
What do you use?
No,
What do you
that does bug me. I use the iron sights until I can get a scope. Scopes are easier.
Scopes zoom in too much for my liking. I don't know why. I'd rather use the iron sights.
Yeah, well, they're handy recon pieces, so you can kind of see what's going on in a little better detail. But yeah, don't really need a scope to do it. You can do fine with the iron sights. But then, so one of the scorched has the little transponder thing that you need.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Now I'm remembering this. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Yes.
the transponder is obtained from the plane crash.
Mm-hmm.
And the other part is called the duplexer, and that's from the train. There's a train crash and a plane
Right.
crash.
Right.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Hotels with my hotel was a Wendigo, wasn't a honeybee. So that's why I was so confused.
Okay. So
Yeah, random. Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
Seneca Rock site, you get
Yeah.
the plans, the schematics
Right.
to
Right.
make the whole thing.
Right.
You not only have to collect the pieces, she makes you collect the plans too. She doesn't give you the damn plans.
Nope.
Well, I'm gonna say
I
here
hate
and now, I think I said this the last time, but she's the first and only character I've ever just tried to outright shoot. I tried really hard.
Oh, it's frustrating too because she's only like level 5.
She's just kind of annoying. I'm just
Yeah.
kind of over
Well,
Rose right now.
it gets worse.
I know. Well, I don't know. I've only made it to the cave. I don't want to know. Sorry. I just totally railroaded you guys. I derailed you. Keep going. I apologize.
Yeah. So then you also get the part at the airplane crash.
Where are
Right.
those two locations on the map? Where is they're both within a reasonable distance to top of the world, right?
Yeah. The
Um,
airplane crash is just due west of the top of the world and down in the forest.
It's right outside of Helvetia.
Yep.
Helvetica, Helvetia,
Helvetica.
Hel-
Helvetia. Helvetia. Yeah.
with what was it? The Fostfest? No, what was that?
Fashnacht.
Fastnacht.
And it's like a season changing. It's a festival that celebrates the seasons changing, and there's a cool, like, in the little hall, there's just like beer everywhere. You can get a whole bunch of like beer bottles. And oh yeah, you were trying to find if there was an accordion down there, but I don't think there is.
I found an accordion, but you can't play it. I was so mad.
Oh yeah.
That should really be one of the playable instruments. I don't understand why you would have instruments in the game, make some of them playable and some of them not.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Also, when I'm playing some of the instruments, you can bump it out into photo mode. Some instruments you cannot. Why?
That is weird.
So dumb. All right. So I interrupted. We're
So-
off the plane crash and the train crash. We're getting the transponder and the duplexer, and the plans you had to get from the. That wasn't where the bear was. Where was the plans again?
At the Seneca Rock
At the Senate, yeah.
visitor center.
That's like a little hotel looking thing.
Yep, north of the top of the world.
And then I do have to say that at the downed plane site, it's actually kind of a cool place because there's these little bathtubs lined up, like you can take baths out on this cliff. And Phil and I took a very long time recreating the commercials with the couples in the bathtub. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like Cialis commercials or something.
It
was fun.
I remember this.
With photo mode. It was a good time. It's actually a really cool spot, though. It would be a cool spot to have a camp if there weren't always super mutants up there.
There's tons of places where I've been like, oh, this is a great place for a camp, and I just plop it down. 2 seconds later, getting attacked by super mutants or fucking scorpions or fucking scorch beasts, or just like every time I moved it from that one place. So the game punished me enough where it taught me, okay, I'll go back. Okay, God, take it easy. I'll go back.
I can't say enough about our little spot over by Helvetia. It's a cool little spot. I get attacked by level 1 scorched that like my turrets take care of pretty much immediately. It's a good little spot.
My latest camp tragedy is I'm so glad that I don't build in the camp, because it would just be a disastrous waste of resources. Because I'm sitting there like doing some tinkering and I hear just this loud bang and I'm like, oh, I wonder what that was. Gee, okay, well I'll just keep going on with my little tinker bench. Tink, 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 tink. Hear another bang, bang. Like, gosh, those are kind of nice. Those are kind of close. Is that farm down the hill there? Well, keep it quiet over there, you guys. I'm trying to tinker. Tink, 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 tink. Bang, bang. What the hell is going on? And I look up. And up the hill, the rad rats had destroyed all 8 of my power generators. So, like, I am the worst camp moderator on Earth. And I'm like, gosh, I wonder what that sound is. Oh, never mind. I'll just sit here and tinker.
Couldn't possibly be anything.
It's like I literally thought it was down the hill. There's an event that happens every once in a while at a farm where you get this fertilizer and you have to. There's these robots and super mutants end up attacking each other a lot of the time because the event kicks off. And so I kind of thought, oh, it's probably that. But no, now I have to spend like 36 gears getting all my fucking water purifiers and generators built back up. It's terrible. I'm just not going to go with water. I have like, too much water that it's weighing me down at this point. So I just might as well just leave it because the only thing that I'm using the power for anymore. My camp is I don't have anything at my camp besides the crafting stations and a Santa Claus. the important stuff, So I interrupted and we went off track again. Speaking of tank, after you get those transponders from the train and the duplexer from the train and the transponder from the plane, and the plans and everything, then you have to go construct the signal repeater at a tinker bench. I hop back to my camp to do that. What do you guys do when you have to build stuff like that?
Oh, my camp is right near there, so I just go back to my camp.
The top of the world near there?
Yeah, because I knew that there was going to be a lot of questing done around it, so I'm on a little lake just outside the top of the world.
No, I was going to say, tell me a little bit about it. Is that a spot you've been most of the game or just recently?
I've been there a while. It's I was down a little bit further, but that wasn't really working out for me. So I moved up closer to the top of the world.
Why was it not working out? Because you were being attacked by something specific, or?
No, it was just too far away from everything.
Yeah.
So
not a fast traveler?
I am, but there's places that that you haven't discovered that you can't fast travel to. So
yeah.
It's nice to be conveniently located.
Yeah, my camp is not convenient at all. I'm up in the Toxic Valley in the north of the map where no one goes and nothing happens. It's actually pretty nice because it's been really bad the last couple weeks. We've heard problems in our group. I'm not sure about the greater general, our podcast audience out there, but at least in our Facebook group, we've had quite a few people saying that the griefing has just gone through the roof the last few weeks. I think Will's even been hit twice by random people just coming up and attacking. Yeah, coming up and attacking camp and just like demolishing.
Oh, right.
They have a perk card called Wrecking Ball, which lets you do double damage to people's camps. I'm like,
oh,
you guys want to push this PvP bullshit, but seriously, that is very unnecessary. Like, if you have not passive mode, whatever it's called, pacifist mode.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? If you have that turned on, there should be no interaction with other people and in a negative way. Like, they should not be able to attack if you're in pacifist mode. That's just ridiculous. Outrage. So, anyway, up in the Toxic Valley, I almost never see anybody. People never stumble on camp. Basically because you can't see it because it's tucked into a hill into a cliffside where just a little edge sticks out. And unless you have marsupial and know where it is already, you're probably not going to even see it from where you're anywhere you can stand, unless you just happen to randomly drop onto it.
Crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, it's another reason I don't build. If you build, you get heartbroken. People fucking come by and just destroy your hard work. But then there's I don't know, Jess tipped me off. There's some sort of quick fix for that. I think if you move your camp, it'll automatically fix that stuff, so you don't have to actually go through and waste your resources. So I don't know if you can move your camp and then to move it right back to where it was, or you'll probably do that if you want. I don't know. Yeah, so that sucks. Quit griefing out there. If anybody out there does that, think it's funny. People in pacifist mode, leave those folks alone. You can go PvP with people who are also, level 400 and want to do that sort of thing. Leave us little folk alone, please.
Yeah.
So you get the you go back to your tinker bench and you get this signal repeater, this radio part that she needs to boost her signal. You go get that thing made, but you don't go back to her radio. It's not her tower that needs fixing. You have to go somewhere else to do this. Where do you have to go here? It's like those big
the National Isolated Radio Array.
It's like those
there you go.
Those big dishes Sarah was talking about, right?
Yeah.
Over there on the east side of the map. What is that area technically called? We're outside of the Great Divide over there, right?
I thought that was that part of the Savage Divide or no?
Yeah.
For the Great Divide. I'm an idiot. Savage Divide, yes.
Yeah, it's still in the Savage Divide.
The Savage Garden. I mean, sorry.
Yes.
Garden.
Okay, it is still in there. That cliffside, I assume, marks the because there's a pretty stark 30-foot, 80-foot cliff drop off there, running along the most side of the map there. So I assume that marks the line there. Would the area to the east there be the mire, I guess, and the cranberry bog, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right on the border between those two, and the Savage Divide.
So basically, where all three of those meet up, we're headed toward that area. There's it's even drawn on your map, I believe, is one of the little cartoon icons.
Yeah.
Get the big satellite dishes. Head on that way. You have to take this part. I assume there's loaded with bad guys in there. Again, it was a couple weeks ago. I assume Scorched, because most of the main quests I have found, even though they like to diversify the bad guys a lot when you're going out and about adventuring randomly, but I find 80% of the time the bad guys are going to be Scorched for the main quest, because that's the whole point. What we're doing here is finding the Scorch cure.
Yeah,
it was super mutants for us.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, same here. Super mutants.
So I could be totally wrong, and probably super mutants are there.
I think it might just depend on your level.
Yeah, the first time I went there, it was definitely Scorched.
Okay, so it could be a random thing. A lot of the time, they do like to, just rotate the guys through. I know that you have to install the piece somewhere. Do you guys remember where that is? And you have to also find a terminal to turn on the power and all that stuff. Do you recall that process?
Yep. So the piece goes inside of the big satellite dish, and it's marked very clearly. Once you put it in, it makes some robots pretty mad at you. So just be wary. And so you'll have some protectrons, and we had like a level 50 Mr. Handy coming at us, which was weird. It was a Sergeant Handy.
Sergeant Gutsy or whatever.
Sergeant Gutsy. There you go. One of those coming at us.
Master Sergeant General Gutsy, sir.
Yeah, he was angry. So, and then you pass a little, it's like a little shack. It's not really a shack. It's like a little office area that's kind of set up above the road a bit. Just it has a set of stairs that goes into it. And you've probably already killed the super mutant or whatever baddies were inside of that already, because they shoot at you on your way in. But you go up there, and then you basically connect the signal repeater somehow and make it work. And then Rose comes over the big radio, congratulating you for helping her out. And her little annoying Rose voice, hey!
God, yeah, her voice is something else, huh? How can, without a holotape, how can people just break in onto your Pip-Boy radio all the time? I noticed a couple of times when they were doing the responders training and stuff. You don't even pick up a Pip-Boy. You get your checkpoint marked. And all of a sudden, like a random message just starts playing. You're like, what?
Yeah. I think she's hacking into
Where's that
the
come from?
emergency broadcast system or something.
Yeah, it's awesome that dead people can hack into your
I know. I know. It's weird because sometimes it's like people come in and be like, "Oh, we're waiting on a government supply drop or whatever down at the Morgantown airport, and we need help getting the government supply drop in." And I'm like, "So has this message just been waiting for like however many years these people have been dead for someone to wander through with a Pip-Boy?"
It's like auto triggered by picking up a Geiger counter signal or something.
I guess. And like you're telling me that this drone or whatever has just been like circling Morgantown Airport for 25 years or whatever,
Yeah,
like
it's got like
to drop it?
it's a nuclear powered
Yeah.
chopper. They can just go forever.
Yeah, some of this stuff I mean, there's a lot of moving parts in this, so I give Bethesda credit, but some of it I'm kind of like, I don't know. I don't get it. But
Yeah, we've been a very, very supportive show
yes.
for this game, and I believe that all three of us greatly enjoy the game.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know that how we would rank it against 4. We'd have to let it set for a year or something before we start comparing it to 4 or whatever.
I don't think you can.
But
but
it's just we've been very supportive.
oh yeah.
But I still am baffled by the having everyone dead, no NPC decision.
I think we're gonna get some.
It's just a strange move.
Yeah. Here's the deal. We love the game. We love playing the game. It's fun. We're big supporters, but we still have notes.
And I think we love the game because we have a community. I think a lot of
Yes.
the people who hate the game are individuals.
Yeah.
We don't have a support group and like just a bunch of people to go around and do stupid stuff with and have a ball. Because
100%.
you hop in here randomly and try to do that with random people, yeah, you can have a good time. But like, we've been hanging out for a couple of years in this Facebook group together. So we actually kind of, even though none of us really know each other, I mean, some of us have met a little bit, but we're basically just internet buddies, but
right,
we're really good friends for online,
right,
and we know each other and have a relationship, and so we can run around together and have a really good time. And it doesn't even matter that there's no like story or live NPCs to interact with, because we're just having a good time. I don't know, visiting the Mothman or accidentally blowing each other up somehow.
Yeah. Here's a little shout out for Walter, Lee's character. He's known for blowing up cars. That's just his thing.
No, nice.
So there's many a time where we're all a little blown up by Lee.
Does he manage to do it from a distance? Because I'm still trying to figure out how I can do it, with my claws, the melee weapon. They kind of blow up all the, like, it seems like if you shoot them, you get like 1 or 2 shots, and then like the meter goes down a little bit in chunks, and then all of a sudden it'll start going down gradually, like start flowing down.
Yeah.
And then it'll blow up. But if I hit it once with the melee thing, it just blows up my face and kills me almost every time.
He picks his moments. This is what I'll say. He picks his moments because there'll be a little bit of a lull in the conversation, and out of nowhere something will just blow up in the background and we're like, "Oh, it's Lee," like he keeps us on our toes. I like it. We always are going to know where Lee is.
One of speaking of blowing up cars, if you've ever done the White Springs the golf course nuke zone run for XP farming and stuff, one of the first things Alex does when he shows up to the area is he goes around and just blows up all the cars, because during the battle all the cars are so close together that it'll set off a chain reaction and just sort of blow up everything in the area and
Oh,
kill
how smart.
people. So the first thing he does when he gets there is he just goes around and blows up all the different cars so that he doesn't accidentally get killed. You know, if he gets pinned up against it by some glowing ones or whatever.
That's funny. Lee says he usually gets them to start burning and then they go off usually when he's next to them. So
Whoops. Kaboom.
Walter, yeah. Walter's a little bit of a pyro.
What sort of weapon does he use? Does he use a flamer or anything?
You know, I'm not sure. I think Walter is his character that has every weapon known to man under the sun. So
No,
he
nice.
probably uses a myriad of different Lee, include that in your next feedback because we'd love to know. Tell us all about blowing up cars.
I just found the shish kebab today. I was like, oh gosh, is this a random thing or is this always here? It was just sort of on a random table outside when I was running around doing one of the quests today.
Remind me about that. What is that?
It's some sword from Finch Farm that you go up to the forged at the place, and you gotta
the burning sword.
You'd have to fetch the sword and you find the guy's son and all that at that
maybe
refinery or whatever.
Maybe great grandpa Finch left it laying around, and you just happen to walk by and pick it up.
Yeah.
You just changed the entire history of the Fallout series. Because now there's no reason to go up there to the forged. Oh, wait, I guess he has to get his son back, huh? Yeah, so maybe for that.
Nah, he's a lost cause. Actually, if you play the quest, the guy is way happier to get the sword back than his son.
I know. It's so sad.
Abraham, is that his name? Abraham Finch?
I think the son's name is like Jake or Josh. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is Abraham.
No,
that's the dad.
Dad. Yeah.
Oh, the dad. Okay.
So we're doing. We got the thing all installed. Sarah talked you through installing it to the dish and diverting the power. I assume you use a terminal to and then you return to Rose. She gives me. I assume everyone gets this here. The black diamond. Do you ever use that thing? Like a ski sword that has. It looks like they have taken a figure skating blade and attached to the side of a ski, which is a really ingenious usage of each implement of the Winter Olympics that I enjoy most, skiing and ice skating. Good job.
I've been keeping it in my inventory as a backup for when I run out of ammo, which happens all the time. And it's a pretty good sword. I can't complain.
I'm now up to 3,500 rounds of 45 ammo for my radium rifle.
Nice.
One of these days, I will allow myself to take 1,000 rounds. Have fun with my rifles. It's just so sad that I invested all those perk cards and shotguns and rifles early on in the game, and I've had to cut myself off the last like 30 or 40 levels, and I'm still only up to like 3,000 rounds. Granted, I'm not doing a ton of building of ammunition. It's mainly just stuff that I found or people have given me. Jess traded me a bunch. I gave her some like 50 pieces of. See, I've got some black titanium farm going. So we've got our swap meet going. If anyone's interested in participating in that, we've got a spreadsheet. If you've got an abundance of some item and you're looking for some other item, enter that information into our swap meet spreadsheet. You have to join the Facebook group to do that because we have people's real names on there, and we don't want that just randomly up on the website. So join the Facebook group if you like to join the swap meet. See what sort of random stuff people are providing. My thing is because my camp is on the black titanium spot that just randomly produces. I don't know if there's many spots like that with black titanium in the game, but I just randomly happen to find it. So every time I log in, I get a few pieces of it, and then run up to Hemlock Hold. I get some acid, etch it into whatever that process is called. Not etching. I don't know.
Smelting?
Smelting. He has smelt it down into some black titanium scrap. And Jess needed some, I don't know, I think she's got some armor that she likes to repair. So she needed 50 pieces. So she traded me, God, probably 1,000 rounds of 45 for 50 pieces.
Wow.
I think that was see, that's the thing. And all these, you go into Reddit and go into those things. Everyone has all these I want 3,000 caps for that. Well, man, fuck that. We're just trading stuff here.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a friendly swap.
Yeah.
We're not an economy here. Just, I don't know. Is that a good deal? 50 pieces for 1,000 rounds? I don't know. I don't care. The thing is, I have enough to give, and she had enough of the other thing to give. So who cares if it was a good deal or not?
It's another awesome thing about playing with a group of people, right? So whenever we start a little, I don't know, play sesh, somebody drops a bag with, something in it, and then we all stand around the bag and we just start throwing things in there that we don't need, and you pick up what you need and you leave something, take a penny, leave a penny.
Yeah, ours is usually a plan swap. Everyone does the plan.
Oh yeah.
And tosses the plans in. And it's so much nicer now that it says known.
Nice.
That it says known. Nice. You don't have to like guess anymore. Because it was like, okay, now you pick them all up and read them. Okay, you put them back in the bag. Okay, now you pick them all up and read them. Okay, no, put them down. Okay, now you pick. It's like you don't have to take turns anymore. You actually know who knows what. But you just dump them all in the bag anyway, and it's
super convenient.
Nicer. Yes. Black diamond sword. Some XP, assuming. Flavors of mayhem. What are we getting into here? Oh gosh, this one is crazy. Holy fuck. You learn that not only are there raiders, but there's specific gangs of raiders now. What?
Yep.
Are there 5 different groups of raiders? Distinct factions of raiders?
There's a few.
But you're really not learning that yet. That's in the key quest. This one is just that there's more than one way to kill a creature.
Right.
No, but each method is representative of each group of the raiders.
There's only 3 ways that you kill.
No, wait here. Listen, there's you craft the mod to make the karma syringe. That's the cutthroats.
Okay, I didn't count that.
You craft the explosive bait. That's the trappers.
Okay.
You interact with the death claw. That's the diehards. You steal a weapon from the super mutant camp. That's the Blackwater bandits. And you kill a feral ghoul and eat it. That's the gourmands.
You don't have to eat it. It's optional.
You eat the fucking ghoul, Sarah.
I did not eat the ghoul. Thank you very much.
I didn't realize that I got that quest gives you the cannibal perk card.
What?
What?
Yeah. Because I didn't eat the ghoul because I didn't think I could, but then a little bit later I leveled up and went into to pick my next card and saw that I had the cannibal card.
Are you sure you didn't get it randomly in the pack previously?
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean it never showed up before.
That's amazing. Okay. Interesting. So I wonder if you can.
I mean, somebody else can check it out, but that was I do not remember having the that perk card.
That'd be really cool. And I wonder if there's any other instances like that. With this character, I just need to run up through this quest so I can get that card. I can be sure to get that.
Right.
That could play into strategy of how you build a character. If there's other cards that can be obtained through completing or starting a quest at least. That's cool. All right. So I know I just kind of shot the whole quest there by running through it like that, but let's go ahead and walk through them a little slowly here. So crafting a mod, this was fucking annoying to me. Did you find you need I believe the firework berry? That's not what it's called.
Firecracker.
Eesh, firecracker. I don't know. Something like that. The berry from that plant. And you also need glowing resin.
Yeah, you need the goo from the trees.
And all that stuff is just right around there, so you don't have to go far to get it.
Really? I was wandering all over the fucking place and didn't see it. The game knows. The game always knows when I'm looking for something. So
It hides it.
Yeah, it does. After 40 minutes of running around randomly just looking, because I thought, like you just stated, Ray, of course they will just put it around here. They're not going to send me all over the place. So I just ran basically concentric circles, like a big spiral from around the thing, and just kept running out and out and out. And the further I went, the more hope that I gave up. It was just sad.
Slowly losing hope.
Find it, so I had to Google it. I googled glow resin and firecracker berry or whatever it's called, and a video popped up, just like the 30-second video. It just had 2 different spots and it showed them each. Lucky me, I fast traveled to the first spot that he mentioned for the firecracker berry, and as I fast traveled in, I landed right by a tree, and on the base of that tree was the glowing resin. So I was like, oh, sweet. Perfect. So I got 2 birds with 1 stone, and I forgot to write down where that place is. My bad. That would have been very useful information for you guys.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck finding that one. Happy day. So that was super annoying that I wasted 40 minutes running around looking for those things. I assumed that since I've been collecting a lot of plants and having oh, and another problem was I don't ever keep chems. I sell a lot of chems. And it was like, you need a psycho as well, don't you? So I had to go, I was like, where the fuck do you get psycho? And I looked it up, and my chem bench, I went over there and looked. Oh, I do have the recipe. I can make psycho.
Nice.
What are the ingredients? Oh god, the ingredients are crazy. I don't see how anyone can be a chemist in this game. I looked at how you build like just a couple of the different chems, and the ingredients are like, there's always like 2 that are fine. Yeah, there's abundant, but there's always 1 ingredient in each of them that are just like, I have seen that once. I don't know what that is. Who is this one?
Digested goo?
Yeah, what the fuck is digested goo? What's that come from? Is that your tree goo, Sarah?
I've never made psycho in this game. I don't know. I've never found digested goo.
Digested goo. Are you kidding me?
From the giant pitcher plants in the cranberry bog.
Oh, there you go.
I do know what you're talking about. I've seen those things, but I've just never really gotten them to spark off. I don't think you have to run up to them, I believe, and harvest them before they spout a little poof of. Oh god, they probably do that too. But they spout a little poof of poison in your face, I think.
Yeah.
A little cloud. But I've seen those, yeah. All right. So
why is there no jet in this? Why is there no jet in this game? Has anybody found jet?
I didn't even notice that there wasn't jet.
Because you can't slow time.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because VATS doesn't slow time either.
There you go. That makes sense. Okay. I've been annoyed because jet is like my way of making quick cash in Fallout 4. Because I'll just go scrap everything in Sanctuary, make a ton of jet, and then go sell it.
What is it? Fertilizer and steel?
It's just fertilizer and plastic.
And plastic. Wow.
Yeah. And so I'm like, why is there no jet in this game? But that totally makes sense. You can't slow time.
You can still take your fertilizer and plastic recipe and bulk the fertilizer in plastic and use that to make money.
I guess that's true.
Do people buy cow shit? Is that a thing?
What do you guys do with the fertilizer? Everything goes bad so freaking fast. I feel like I just have fertilizer everywhere. My house probably stinks.
I had the problem with my first character that I could never have enough fertilizer. I could never find it because I was farming all the time. This character I don't farm at all, so I just have shit piled up all over the place. Like I have to drop in bags literally everywhere because I don't I have too much rotting meat.
Same.
I always have the butcher's bounty card on, so I'm collecting double meat all the time, and so I always have just like tons and tons of rotting meat on my in my back pocket or something. I just like to carry around some rotting meat. It attracts the mongrels for XP farming, I guess.
Well, and Sarah, I thought you just had cats.
There you go. Thanks. In regards to my house smelling?
Yeah.
I got you. I'm just going to start dropping all my fertilizer in a bag at your place. So if you log on, and there's a bag there. Just kidding.
Sarah was here.
Sarah was here. I'll set it on fire, and then I'll knock on your door.
Get a flamer and set that on fire. Get the shish kebab sword, set it on fire.
Go.
I don't have a door.
That's true.
What Ray's got he doesn't have a door. His doorway is loaded with a guillotine or something fun.
Guillotine. Isn't it just a ladder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's got to be something dangerous at the top there. I don't want to go up there.
No.
I think unless it's changed. I've been up there before. Yeah. It's been a long time.
But
yeah.
He kills everything.
He's never killed me.
Have you engaged in PvP at all, Ray?
No. Mm-mm.
Good.
That's not my thing.
Yeah. But I know you just like to test things out by killing it, so I didn't know if you had just tested it out once yet. There's that new... Steve was excited about that new Hunter Hunted. Is that what it's called?
Oh, the place that you can go to get together and
teams of 4.
Hunter and Hunted, I think it's called.
Hide and seek or not sardines. Like, I don't know. It's just like 4 people who last man surviving wins or something. I guess I don't know. King of the Hill.
I see.
Style. But it's
that could be fun.
Steve was wanting to set up I think it'd be fun to set up a little tournament or something within our Facebook group. Yeah. Steve was getting excited about it. So I don't know. Maybe we can touch base and set up a little. That'd actually be really fun during the NCAA tournament to set up a Hunter Hunted
brackets.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah, see if we could get 32 people. Gosh, no, we couldn't even do that on each platform. That'd be ridiculous. 8 people, that would work.
Yeah.
On each platform. See if we set up all ideas all over the place, guys. Good one. All right, so we got the mod for a surrender rifle. Rose gave us the most useless weapon ever, a surrender rifle, and we have to put what is the mod? A Karma syringe
barrel. Yep.
Now the cutthroats, what they did is they used a chem called Karma, and Karma has the weirdest effect. Whatever you shoot with it, the first 60 seconds makes it more intense and deal more damage, but the second 60 seconds after that makes it half as strong or something.
I think it's something like that.
If I'm understanding that correctly, I don't understand the benefit of that chem and why people would use that as a battle strategy.
Well, especially since clearly the stunted Yaguai that's there has been shot with this before. Because he's running around trying to get you for the first 60 seconds, and then the second 60 seconds he disappears.
It's like he knows what's up. It's like he knows I've got 60 seconds to get this motherfucker before I start getting weak.
Yeah. So he was chasing me all over the place. I was waiting. You shoot him, and it barely makes a mark.
Yeah, it doesn't at all. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the timer kicks on for the second half of the Karma, and he's nowhere to be seen.
He disappeared.
He went off the edge of the cliff.
Later.
So I was robbed.
The edge of the cliff.
Yeah.
Do they deal themselves damage if they happen to fall off a cliff or something like that? I never even thought of that. If a rad stag runs from you and happens to fall off a cliff, will it
Yeah.
die?
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. I've had mole rats do that before.
Lemmings.
Yep.
Beautiful. So my bear was a albino Yao guy.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's what happens when you're high level.
Yeah, he whooped my ass the first time.
Really?
I was like, boomp, and got him, and he like turned his head and looked at me, and I was like, oh shit. I booked as far as I could, but those guys are fast. Bears catch up with you. That's why they say don't run from bears. So he killed me, and then I had to fast travel back in and got him the second time there. Pat, thank you, Pat. He gave me a new Death Claw gauntlet. That's fun. I had been using the Mole Miner gauntlets for the last couple of weeks, but recently just switched over to the Death Claw gauntlet. Pat gave me a nice triple legendary effect one that does. Gosh, I can't even remember the legendary effects. One of them makes it 90% weightless. One of them does like 40% more power move damage, power attack damage, and there is another damage buff on it too. So it's a pretty incredible thing. It's doing 230, 240 damage per swing with my my unarmed perk cards all stacked up, and the martial artist card on top of that. If you get all 3 levels of that, it makes you swing. It makes the thing weigh even less, and you can swing it, I don't know, 60% faster or something like that. So, it's getting pretty great. I really like the Death Claw. I'm still wearing the weird ritual mask, the skull face with the weird antler horns on it, and the Death Claw. Mrs. Claus is feeling this look right now. Really feeling it right now. So we got the surrender. We're pissing off a bear. After you kill the bear, she summons you back.
And you can also, if as long as you stay alive for the 120 seconds.
Oh, you don't even have to kill it.
No, the quest will complete. Killing the Agway is optional.
Oh, well, that's fun. Yeah. So I assume you have to stay in the area. You can't just like shoot it from afar and then like fuck off in the other direction.
Right. Yeah, you have to be in that proximity.
That's sweet though. Good to know. So just stay alive for 120 seconds and get the XP or get the credit to check mark that section off. And then you have to move on to the trappers. The trappers, their big thing is to take explosives like grenades or something and basically wrap them in raw meat to draw animals to kill them for hunting, I guess. Now, how would they use that to like kill settlers or just rob people? Or do people just go mess with weird piles of raw meat?
I guess.
I did see one sitting on the side of the road.
Really? An explosive meat?
Yeah. I poked it with a stick, but nothing happened.
Nothing.
Really?
Kaboom!
Yeah, it was when we were up by the pumpkin house.
Oh, that was me.
Oh, you dropped that?
Yeah. So I was trying to throw grenades and I accidentally hit my baited meat. Oh, we were fighting the Scorch Beast, right? Was it like right around that time? Yeah, that was my meat. Yeah. I accidentally threw it out and I was like, well, this isn't going to be helpful.
Didn't kill me.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, I don't think your mines and stuff will kill your teammates. That's
maybe that's why. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that we were teammates though.
That's really funny.
Because we were trying to solve the audio issue.
That's true. That's true. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't want to hear Phil anyway, Ray.
well, Sarah was my interpreter because I could hear her and she could hear Phil.
That's annoying as hell.
It was pretty funny.
That's the worst game ever for Sarah.
It,
She got
it's
tired of that real quick. She's like, okay, did you guys ever? Had you ever? Oh man, this is a throwback. All you kids out there who've never had to deal with wall phones. Do you ever take two phones of people who you had were doing that exact same thing with and talking to two different people on two different lines? And those were like relaying messages through you, and then eventually you were just like, fuck it, and you turned the
call
receiver
each
upside
other.
down. And no, you turned the
You
receivers
hold
upside
them
down and you
together.
hold those two phones together and let them talk to each other through the two phones.
I have never done that.
That's a
That's
throwback. Kids will never have the joy of doing crap like that, right? Come on.
That's true.
That is true.
Now you can just like conference call people in.
No.
Yeah.
We were talking about making mixtapes today at work, actually,
No. So
and
great.
how like my son is never going to have the joy of like crafting a mixtape to give to a girl that he likes.
You can
You
give
know?
her a Spotify playlist, right? Can't you do stuff like that?
Not the same. You have to listen to the radio for the right song to come on. You got to hit record right at the right time.
All right, fuck that noise. People talk about making the mixtape of like waiting around for the perfect moment to record the song off the radio. I'm just like, I made mine off of all like cassettes, borrowed cassettes from friends and stuff. That's how I made my mixtapes. I never made them off the radio. Because then you would have to deal because DJs are always constantly trying to do that thing where I think they call it like hitting the mark or punching the flag or whatever they call it, where like there's that 2-bar intro of every song where they're talking and like doing an intro over the beginning of your song. So they would fuck up your mixtape anyway.
Well, if you wait around for like top 8 at 8, sometimes they don't talk over the bars of the music.
Yeah. I used to make mix videos too when MTV used to play rock. Kids,
yeah.
There used to be this thing called music television where they used to play actual music videos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a thing of the past. You don't ever see music videos anymore. But I would make mixtapes of those too, and we would trade with friends. That was always fun.
All right. Sorry.
And we would trade holotapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times.
I was talking to other people in their inventory. They leave their holotapes at home. Since they're weightless, I just carry all of mine with me.
Me too.
Now, that makes it annoying when you have to load a holotape into a terminal and it asks you, which holotape would you like to load? Because as far as I can tell, it does not alphabetize them, which would be useful. It puts them in the order that you picked them up, I think. Which is terrible.
Awesome. No, that is awesome because I never freaking read the title of the holotape. I just pick it up and put it in my inventory, and then I'm like, shit. Which one am I supposed to listen to?
Yeah, I was trying to load a U.S. requisition form thing, holotape, whatever, the other day. And I kept trying to look at an alphabetical, but it's like, this is not an alphabetical order. And it was like one of the last things the most recent things that I picked up, so it was lower on the list. I just wouldn't. I was like, gosh, where is it? I couldn't find it anywhere. So trappers, we're making some raw meat, stuffing some explosives of some sort into this raw meat. You have to go kill some sort of animal. What did you guys do? I know that just above Flatwoods there's a spot that always spawns mongrels on the road north going out of town. So I went over there. There's like that sign. It's like a hotel sign or something like there. So I went over there and I tossed it out in the middle of the road. And sure enough, 10 seconds later, a couple of pooches came over, and one of them had an unfortunate lunch.
So
they do go flying.
It was impressive. Good distance.
So Phil and I went down to White Springs, and we were planning on throwing our meat over the fence. And we did do that, and a mongrel came over, but then it like glitched. So it just stood over the meat instead of eating the meat. So first we tried to shoot the meat to see if we could get it to go off, and we couldn't. So then we just shot the mongrel, and it worked. But the mongrel never died or anything. It just kept standing there. But eventually,
Wait, so you laid the bait, the meat out, and it went
yes,
and just stood on top of it?
it stood on top of it, and then it just kind of froze.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
So that was the glitch right there. That was obviously the animation that was supposed to happen was the
Yeah.
meat blowing up and the animal being
Right.
flung, but there's something glitched and it froze and couldn't push through that.
Yeah.
Well, and I've
And
had that happen on mongrels several times.
yeah.
And you
But
just walk up to them and whack them, and they die.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
shot it.
still stand there.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yep. So it was good times. I have yet to see any bait actually blow up. I don't know even what it looks like.
It's just like a mine. It's a landmine,
Yeah.
basically.
I figure.
Right? What'd you blow up?
That same dog.
Oh, okay.
Only mine actually blew up.
Yours, adventurous.
It took a while.
Really?
Yeah. But it finally blew up and he went flying.
That's great. You did the same one.
Yeah. And then Lee and I jumped down the hill and to where the death claw is.
Mm-hmm.
And
I have no idea there's a death claw there.
I didn't have power armor, so I died.
Oh, against the death claw?
No, against the hill.
Oh, you jumped off the hill.
Jumped too far.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be able to clear it, but no, I died.
Have you got goat legs yet? That's a great one. It prevents. It's basically gives you, power armor fall. It doesn't give you permanent, 100% protection. It only gives you 40 or 80%. But goat legs is really sweet. I was testing it out the other day. I can jump off of those lookout towers and barely lose any health. And I tested it a little too much, and I went over to that big ass green bridge that's 1,000,000 miles high. I did not make that one. I think I brought that up on the show last week when I was testing out. Oh goodness,
and
it's really fun.
And Lee had shared goat legs with me, so I had that card on, but it was just a little too far.
Yeah. So we're blowing stuff up with meat. That's the trappers. Next we have the diehards, which is interact with the death claw. What is the deal here? She just sends you off and tells you to. I forget the exact phrase, but it's like befriend.
Make friends. Make friends with the death claw.
Make friends with the death claw. What the fuck?
Yeah, that was a weird one. So you just run up to him, and you have to say hi. So you have to actually interact with him before you kill him.
Well, if you kill him.
If you kill him, yeah.
That's true. You can run away. But, Lee was already engaged, so I figured I'd just finish it off.
Ray says run away. Like, I mean, like he kills me.
Yeah, he killed me.
Oh.
And then Rose comes on.
Where was your,
Go ahead.
Where was your death claw? I went up to Death Claw Island to find my death claw.
Oh. There's one right there in the Savage Divide that's just like chilling in some trees by a cliff.
That's like the searching for the plants around. Like it would have taken me an hour to find that death claw. So I there was a death claw. I knew where it was. I knew how to spawn it. So I went there. You know what I mean? Because I was not about to look for some more plants for another 40 minutes and ruin that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Had to find him. Find him
for all I knew, that was the only death claw that you could be friends with.
Can you actually tame him?
Not so much.
Yeah. No, it gives you the command to rub his belly or whatever. tell them roll over. It doesn't work, regardless of which Deathclaw you try it on. I don't think. But I would like to see if Wasteland Whisperer works. I do have that perk card. I like to. It just says pacify, and the Fallout 4 perk card chart thing. The perk chart, it's like you can pacify, and then it'll follow instructions, and then like it'll follow you and do your bidding or whatever. So there's like 3 different levels, and this one it just says it'll you can pacify. But there are 3 different levels, but it doesn't technically say that it'll like follow your commands and stuff. So I'm interested to see how that works. I should see, but they don't let you take perk cards and then go back on a save. So you can't really just like test out a card and see if you like it and then cash it back out.
Right.
Yeah, those points count. But as I get higher level, I'll be able to invest into more cards. But I was thinking about this the other day too, guys. I did not take into account how much special numbers really, really matter in this game for what perk cards. It's like, there's a max of 15, so a charisma of 6 is really not that high, but I thought charisma of 6 was actually sort of a big investment just because I want to be able to share level 2 cards with my team. And that's what I was actually dealt, so that's convenient by the random character generator. But that means I have 2 powerful cards, each of level 3, that I really like. Now that I'm past level 50 and I'm done dedicating points into my specials, I'm sort of regretting leveling up all the cards that I leveled up to 2 powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Now I kind of wished I would have left those cards at level 1 so I could have 6 different cards invested, each at level 1, instead of only 2 cards at level 3 each. Now I can't have as much of a varied. It's a more powerful in those specific categories, but I can't have as like a varied array of cards to play with if I want to use those cards.
So will you ever get like a 4th level 1 card? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, say you have the cannibal perk and you got your 3, so you have 1 level 3. Do you get more perk packs or
Yeah, you can get another level 1 card. That's true. And like card packs and stuff, you can get extra cards with that.
Because it makes sense. I mean, if you only have so many points and strength and you have
that makes sense.
3
Maybe I'll get
level 3 cards or something. I don't know.
Maybe I'll see if I can try to get the same 2 cards that I have in level 3, but get them both again at their introductory level so I can use those plus other cards at the same time. That's a good call.
It just depends on if you continue to get those same ones once they're leveled up. I just don't know the answer to that.
But I think it's very different in how you can design a character.
Mm-hmm.
I have to put a lot more thought into the cards that I want and let the cards dictate how many special points I do. But I feel like in Fallout 4, I would have done the exact opposite of that. I would have done the points first and then dictated which cards I.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I don't know.
You can save them up. Whereas,
here
I feel like that kind of forces you to make a decision right then and there what you want to do, and I don't know, it's a little different.
So we're done tickling the belly of the death claw, and again, you probably don't have to kill him. Of course I tried to. I got him down. I let Mo fight the death claw today. I think this might have been the first time he met a death claw.
Awesome.
But we fought him a couple different times. I let Mo have some fun with him. And that is associated with the diehards section of the raiders. if you're interested in really knowing the backgrounds of all these different 5 groups of the raiders, it's sort of interesting. Next up, we have the Blackwater Bandits. So these are sneaky guys, thieves guild style, if you will. And you are instructed to steal a weapon from a super mutant camp. Is this a Radiant thing? Different super mutant camps all over the place, or did you guys also get sent to that lookout tower?
Yeah, I got the radio relay tower.
Yeah.
So deal with a couple super mutants.
Close to the. It was super close to the Deathclaw.
Oh yeah, I should have just stayed in the area. The I was trying my damnedest to sneak through the whole thing and be quiet and not kill anyone and literally sneak in and get the weapon and it just didn't work. I ended up killing everyone and you just go up and grab it out of there anyway and you get credit for stealing. I thought that by stealing they meant sneak in, but by stealing they just mean take something that's not yours. So that's literally steal. So you can just kill everyone. You don't have to be sneaky about it. Just run and kill everything and literally steal it and grab it. I don't know why. I got the impression that they wanted me to sneak and leave them alive and try to do it unnoticed.
Because they said steal.
Yeah, but you know,
That's
taking something that's not mine is also just stealing. It's just the simpler explanation, I guess. Yeah. So eventually I just ended up killing all of them, running up the stairs. Mo was like, "Ooh, there's very many stairs. This is a very tall building." So we got up there and looked around, grabbed there's just a stash box, not a stash box, but you know what I mean, a box up there, and you steal a weapon. I didn't even remember what I got, if it's the same thing every time or if it's just a random spawn type thing. Steal a weapon, run back down. And,
yeah, mine was at the base station.
Oh,
so I only had to go up 3 stairs to get to the interior.
Mine was all the way up top. That's interesting. I had no idea that would be a different place where you could spawn the item.
Yeah, and I was able to sneak in. So
hey, Ray's better at it
after dying once, but
yeah. Well, see, I kept trying to get up the stairs, and I just couldn't get up the stairs without getting noticed. They kept noticing me about the second flight. So steal your super mutant weapon, and next we have to kill a couple feral ghouls. And this is the part that Ray, you were mentioning earlier. You get a perk card for this?
I mean, that was my explanation for having the cannibal card without knowing it, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if that's actually the case.
Interesting. So I didn't actually toss on the card and eat the ghoul, but I assumed you get I don't know, do you get a little XP boost or something? Or I don't even know what the benefit is of doing that.
I think you get your health regenerated.
Oh, there you go. And you get Rose to call you gross. She made some sort of comment about making sure you use some floss before you come back or something.
Yeah.
Use a little Listerine, please. And that wraps up Flavors of Mayhem.
Yeah, so doing this one with Phil last night kind of led to an interesting situation for me. So, we'd been running around, and so he needed to find some ghouls to kill. And so we went to White Springs, and we were out in we were out in front. And he got his ghouls and he ate them. And so I was done for the night. So I quit the game, standing in the front yard of the White Springs Hotel. And tonight, when I went to log in, I was met with the warning for a imminent nuclear strike.
Oh no.
Run, Ray, run.
I was like, oh crap. Okay, should have planned this one better.
Yeah.
So
don't leave yourself in a likely blast zone area.
yeah, don't quit the game when you're standing in front of White Springs.
Yeah, or the cranberry bog near. I know that no one would actually make their camp near the fissure site in the cranberry bog, but just in case you do, be careful loading there.
Yep.
Hilarious, good story. Key to the Past is our last quest of the evening. Let's see. Rose tells of a raider treasure, but the password was split between the 5 groups that we were just becoming familiar with in our previous quest. And onto holotapes. So each of the different factions has a holotape that we need to acquire. Is there a specific order they go in, or can you do them in any order? I believe they feed them to you in a specific order, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got him in a certain order.
Yeah, I believe it. They probably do it feeds into each other here. So the first one I have is the Blackwater Bandit.
Mm-hmm. Blackwater
And
Mine.
they go down to Blackwater Mine. You try to find Freddie Lang and his corpse. Now,
Freddie's still alive.
is Freddie alive?
Yeah.
Who was Freddie?
The glowing one.
Oh God, yeah.
Really? Oh, he was already dead when I went down there. That's why.
Oh, yeah. He fights with the mole miners.
Is he deep into the mine?
No, not really. It's the first the first little section to the left. When you walk down, there's a pit of water that I had. There's a suit of power armor in the shed out front, and so I'm all by myself. I should try the power armor and see if that helps.
Oh, no.
And I got knocked into the water and couldn't get out.
Yeah.
And the raid got me before I could get out of the power armor.
Oh.
That'll teach you, Ray, for trying things. All right, so our friend Freddie is a glowing one. You kill Freddie, and he has a 5th of our code that we're looking for. After you leave the Blackwater Mine, Rose chimes in and tells you that you need to search for clues at the trappers' camp. The leader of the trappers, or whoever the trappers were there, everyone has disappeared. Surprise, surprise! No one's around. Everyone's dead. So let's figure out what happened to the trappers' camp. There's a note or something you find when you go to the trappers' camp that says you have to go to Huntersville? I had not been to Huntersville yet. I discovered this location through this quest.
Right. We had been through it one time before, just wandering.
Yeah, those were some pretty brutal super mutants.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like the trapper leader was kidnapped by super mutants, correct?
Yep.
And we're looking for that code. And this one, it has to be a corpse, right? There's no way super mutants kept this one alive.
Right.
This is the dead body in the middle of the street, right?
Right. And he, once you loot him, he blew up for me.
What? Wow.
So you get like a little, you go up and like a little thing came up and it says, you notice a bulging, like you notice something bulging out of the corpse's stomach, or the stomach looks distended, and you notice blah, blah, blah. It reminded me
No.
very much of like, did you guys ever play the text-based games where it's only text and you have to like type in like go left, go right, look? No? Anybody? Okay.
Yeah,
It was
1980.
yeah, okay, thank you. I'm glad somebody knows what I'm talking about.
No,
It
I
reminded
know what
me
you're talking
very
about. I
much
don't
of
know if
that.
I've ever played it.
Huh?
I said I know what you're speaking of. I don't know that I
Yeah.
ever personally played them though.
Oh, they're super fun. They're super I would still play them now if I had time. I love those kind of games. But anyway, it was very reminiscent of that, and I was like, "Oh, that's weird. Okay." And then I looted the body and then it blew me up. Were
Oh,
you there that time, Ray?
No,
Okay.
I did this one on my own.
Okay.
I ended
Did
up
it blow up
having
for you?
no, I got a perception notice.
yeah. I was about to say I got some sort of perception check. I thought that said if you have a perception of, I don't remember what it was, 7 or 8 or something, you could.
I was running
don't-
as fast as I could because I couldn't kill all the super mutants, so I had
Oh
to
yeah.
lure them to one end of town,
Mhm.
run all the way around the other side without them
Oh my
seeing
gosh.
me, hit the body, grab the tape, and run out the other side as quick as I could before they caught up to me.
That's
That's pretty
crazy.
amazing. That's great. Yeah. So I don't remember exactly what the wording was, but there's some sort of perception notice, some sort of
Hmm.
perception check there. Now I had a hard enough time. I died once or twice with just the flood of super mutants in town there at all. And I was like, whew, thank God that's over. Little did I know, as soon as you interact with that body, boom.
Right.
It all happens again. And there's probably even more this time. It might even be twice as many people. Twice as many super mutants. But it does, as soon as you interact with the body, it sparks it off again. There's another huge wave of people. So go ahead, go around, collect your stuff, take your time, make sure your health is back up before you interact with that body after your first battle there. It because it happens instantaneously. As soon as you touch that body, boom, they're on your ass like, honey on, or flies on honey again. It's crazy. Now, so where are we here? We got the body, the trapper's camp. That was the leader we found there in Huntersville on downtown. So after we get that code, Rose then tells us somehow magically through our pit boy that we need to search the ski lanes for Margie's. For who? Can't read my handwriting. For Margie's body. But she destroyed her tape.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. So this was okay. This is where they throw you a curveball here. You go try to find this piece of the holotape, and it's been destroyed, and you're like, okay, now what? Now what the fuck are we going to do? But you also get a tip off that Vincent might have some sort of other alternative plan. You find Vincent's he has a terminal there in that building at the
Right.
ski lane. I believe it's down in the basement. The what is his idea? He says there's some sort of like a holotape duplication terminal, and you have to go find that somewhere, right? Or is that in this building? Where is that? That's somewhere else, right?
No, that's at the palace.
Oh yeah, that's up at that really crazy
Mm-hmm.
place with all the little water bridges and stuff.
It's
Yeah.
so cool. That place is super cool.
It's a really fun location, and it's got that event there that you can protect the little meditation statues or shrines or whatever.
That was fun.
Yeah, I'd never been there before.
Very, very cool place.
Yeah, so the machines there, you get a backup copy
Mhm.
And so then you have to find the key for from the gourmands, the
Mhm.
cannibals.
Which
And
is
that's
interesting.
at Bolton Greens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's another
And
golf course.
yeah. Well, and the really annoying thing on this one is there's an event that triggers there.
Oh,
And that Mr. Handy would not shut up. I'm running around trying to figure out what
Oh,
I'm supposed to do, and this guy's just wow, 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 wow. We've got a very
really?
important guest. We need to clean this place up.
yeah, there's a Halloween party happening, and we got to get. Hello, are you listening? Hello, I'm a robot. Da, 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 da. Yeah, it is crazy.
Hmm.
But once you get that, then you're in good.
Yeah.
And then you have to get the segment from David from the Cutthroats. And here's another character that's alive. See, everybody says there's no live NPCs, but here in this quest, there's
Yeah,
two of them.
here you go, David. Yeah, have fun with him. Go out to tea with David, Ray.
Oh no, you go meet him for barbecue. You know, who
Big
doesn't
Fred's
love to kick
barbecue
back?
back, huh?
Yeah, kick back, have some beers, a little barbecue, good times.
Did we mention the cave?
We're not there yet.
No.
No, we're not there yet. Okay.
No, you do. The cave is after you because
I thought
the gourmands, they were eating their own, and so they were casted out
Oh,
to the cave, and you got to go out to the cave to find um Mr. Gourmand, and that's where you find the crazy Wendigo and all that, because that's where I'm at right now.
okay.
Yeah. And that's when I had to go run and fetch help the first time I tried this forever ago. This is a sort of a tough if you're not really high levels, it's this is a tough little nugget of the quest. This is where like Sarah was saying earlier, how you have to run out and grab people and have team up and have people help you through this part.
Right.
It's definitely one of those for me. So after the cave, what happens in the cave? There's all sorts of stuff in the cave. There's Mirelurks in there and a Wendigo and I had like a Mirelurk hunters and a king was in there as well. It got pretty hairy. Plus, it's like I mentioned earlier, how it just twists and turns me around. I get all backwards in that cave, and it's one of those places where I'll accidentally think that I'm going one way, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, okay, I'm at the end, but no, you're exiting and going back out the entrance, dummy. This is one of those places I get turned around a little bit. You have fun in the cave, you guys?
And they're definitely throwing a lot at you. So I had Phil and Eddie backing me up on this one. And even still, we ended up getting killed a couple of times.
Tell me how that works when you guys team up. Well, you got Phil and Eddie and Ray, and like if Sarah's with you guys, how do you have each sort of like an assigned attack role? Is there a certain play style everyone assumes? How does the teamwork function in a group like that? How do you guys play it on the PC group?
Well, the way that I was playing it, so Phil and Eddie were both in power armor. So I would sneak into a space, shoot the enemy in that area, fall back. They would take it out. I'd go collect the loot and move on to the next place.
See, that's the great thing. You only need to get one shot in to collect a little bit of that XP too, and let other people finish it off for you.
Yep. And then, if it was a particularly, difficult enemy, then I might get a second or third shot in. But, for the most part, they were taking care of it.
Those power armor guys. Always coming to the rescue, those power armor guys.
So
Yeah.
Eddie brought me the most beautiful set of power armor.
He brought you a set of power armor?
He did. He is the best teammate ever.
What did he bring you?
I think it's T45, but it's shiny and beautiful, and I'm so excited. I'm saving up for a paint job. So I'm now one of those crazy
Yeah.
power armor people.
What paint job do you like? What are you guys looking at in the atomic shop recently? I know Ray doesn't give a crap about that, but what are you looking at, Sarah, in the atomic shop,
Well,
paint job wise?
the only 3 that it was showing for me was a camo one, the like the it's not the tricentennial, but it's all red, white, and blue and cute. That's the one I want. And then I couldn't remember what the 3rd one was.
Yeah,
But
I like to call that red, white, and blue one Top Gun. It looks like Top Gun.
I love it. Yeah. So I'm saving up atoms. I never thought I'd be the person saving up atoms for stuff, but I really want that paint job. So
And I wish there was some way to to trade in atoms, because I've got 2,400 atoms that I'll likely never use.
Nice. That's great.
go ahead.
I'm back up to almost 1,000 again, so I can probably make a substantial purchase at some point if there's something that catches my eye. There's always a featured section. I don't gosh, what is it? There was a cool bed that I remember. I don't quite remember what the featured section was this week, but what were you about to say, Sarah? Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, just the only other thing that I've purchased in the Atom store is succulents. They're all over my camp.
They are cute. They're so neat and tidy.
They are.
What are they?
The succulents.
Oh, succulents. Yeah, those are really cute.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to buy those. Are they what, 200 or 300 atoms? I believe.
I don't know.
Could get a-
They really bring like a homey feel to your camp. It's nice to have something green in there, you know? Ray, you haven't been to my camp lately. I ran into Phil and our new friend Christian. I don't think that he is a member of our group yet, but he will be. He just doesn't know it yet. And I don't know what happened, but just all of a sudden they just completely like helped me redo my camp. I have
nice.
a TV that works. I mean, it just, it has snow on it, but
nice.
Yeah.
and like a couch and like a super beautiful bed and like a nice dresser. And I have a power thing that has like the fusion core in it. It's legit. So thank you to Phil and Christian.
You got like the 100 power thing, the nuclear.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. I have the ability to build one, but I haven't yet, just because I think the resources are a little steep to build that thing.
Yeah, Christian did it all for me. He's like such a nice guy.
Speaking of steep resources, that the radiation decontamination arch thing that I'm trying to build is still good Lord. Going to the first of all, you have to go to blast zone, so you have to there's not always a blast zone. You can't always just go. You got to wait until there is one. And then you got to have the glowing mass and the other stuff ready to go. So when you collect the other stuff that's so unstable, you get it back, the raw flux, and you got to combine everything. And oy vey, is it just a process. I don't know if I'll ever get it accomplished, you guys. It's crazy. And I still haven't gotten rid of empath. I think last week I was trying to describe my process of getting rid of empath. I keep getting rid of other mutations and then getting those mutations right back in my radiation pool thing. But I still haven't gotten rid of empath. I'm still on the quest of getting rid of that mutation. It's no fun.
That is no fun.
It's sorry, I keep getting us off track, you guys. After Bolton Greens, we go to the cave, have fun in the big cave.
Mm-hmm.
Then we find out that Rose was part of this last group, wasn't she? And her buddy was David, and she saw David alive walking around Fred's barbecue, and that we needed to go basically visit David, say hi. Did you guys go say hi to David? Say hi, Dave.
I'm pretty sure the direction I got from her was kill David.
Oh, poor David. She'd never have you do that, right? Okay. First of all, I don't know why I didn't even ask this off the bat. What is up with Rose? Was she a human raider whose personality somehow got transferred into a robot, or has she always been a robot with just a somehow very human personality added to it? How does that work?
Doesn't she say something along the lines of she always thought the Raiders were super awesome and she decided she wanted to be one?
So she's always been a robot. She was never
I
like
think she's always been a robot,
she's
and
never yeah.
she just decided she was going to be a Raider. And she's trying to get the Raiders to come back. Like she's trying to rebuild the Raiders. So
Rebuilt the Raiders.
yeah.
So 5 clicks of Raiders. How many responders were there? There was the 3 different responders, right? How many factions are there? Good Lord. So we go visit David over at the barbecue stand. David is to me, a level 68 scorched. Whooped my ass once. Sorry, David. No disrespect. I'll come at you with a little better strategy the second time. Oof. Took care of David at the barbecue stand there. Do you guys have any hardships?
I haven't made it that far yet.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry,
the hardest thing for me was to get him to spawn.
Really?
Oh, what was wrong?
Yeah, well, because Eddie and I were doing the same quest, but he had gone ahead and
Oh, no.
while Phil used my camp, and so when I got there, David was dead, and I was able to recover the key segment from his corpse, but it didn't. But it didn't trigger the quest.
Oh gosh, that sucks.
So we all traveled back to my camp, and then back to the barbecue, and it didn't seem like it had spawned because the body was still laying there. But eventually, a bunch of scorched came at us, and he was one of them. So
Interesting.
was able to get that to click.
I'm still trying to figure out exactly how that works, because I know that when in White Springs Nuke Zone, when they want another phase, another round, another wave of glowing ones to come at you, that they'll like have someone hop off the server and then hop right back on, because they theorize each time a new person hops in, that sparks a new wave. So that's interesting. So I didn't know if you'd have to just fast travel out of the area and back, or actually leave the server and come back in.
Yeah,
but
we were able to just travel.
Things respawn so darn, frequently and quickly in this game. Sometimes I'm not done looting an area. I'm still looking around, digging through stuff, picking over bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And then they all come back again. They're like, oh shit, they're alive again. Everything's a meat pile all of a sudden, and there's bad guys attacking me while I'm still digging through this drawer over here looking for duct tape.
Yeah, that happened to me at Blackwater Mine. I'd gone through and wiped out all the mole miners, and
That's brutal.
was going in, looting all the buildings, and a couple of more guys came to do the event that spawns there, and all of a sudden the place is filled back up with mole miners.
That's tough because that's a hard fight all the way in, and then you got to do it all the way back out. Is that dungeon set up in a fashion where it's sort of a loop where you don't have to cut back all the way through to the beginning? Do they cut you some slack where they cut you a shortcut out of the back end?
Well, so Blackwater Mine was the very first room, that you get to. So you didn't go through the whole mine
You
anyway.
don't actually have to go back through the mole mine anymore.
Yeah, but in the Wendigo Cave, even though you're kind of winding your way through, there is a way to continue and exit the cave.
I always loved that Skyrim was always so good about cutting a little tunnel back to the entrance for you.
Yeah.
So we've got David down. We return to Rose with our 5 pieces of the key. This is it. This is the big finale here. We say, "Hey, Rose, make us a master." And Rose says she can't do it for some reason. Says something about Rosalind. We need to check her status, see what's up with Rosalind. Everyone thinks she's dead. She alive? Oh no, she survived some sort of attack, but then she was taken hostage. So now you have to find this Rosalind person. Do you guys know specifically what's happening with Rosalind here?
Yeah. So, yeah, what was the deal with her? So there was evidently, so what did I find? It kind of got broken up for me because I'd gone into the Capitol building, and popped out to go do something with Lee real quick and then came back in. But you eventually find a terminal in there, and you get some records off of the terminal.
Yeah, and you find that she was kidnapped or something, right?
Yeah.
She was taken to a different location, super mutants. And at this point during the trip, this is when Rose tells you sort of like some history. I wish I would have paid much closer attention, but this is when she explains what happened with the exploding of the dam and the flooding of the city and all of that. Does anyone have a brief recollection of those events?
Yeah, because David was upset because she had been kidnapped, I think. And so he took some mini nukes to the dam and blew it up and flooded the city.
So David and Rosalind were a thing, and because of Rosalind's kidnapping, David took nukes and blew up the dam above Charleston, which flooded the city, basically wiping it off the map there.
So I looked up a little bit of background on Rose.
Oh, the Raider robot. What's up?
So she is a modified Miss Nanny, and her behavior and voice are based on that of the deceased Raider Rosalind Jeffries. Because I was wondering, Rose
So this is
and
Rosalind
were connected. Because when I saw the name, I was like, oh, I wonder if that has something to do with Rose. So
okay,
there you go.
So was she programmed to be like Rosalind, or it's Rosalind's consciousness somehow in the robot?
I think that she is programmed to sound and act like Rosalind. Maybe
by whom?
Maybe by David. Because wasn't David?
David was Rose's programmer, owner, boss guy.
But who's the guy that blew up the dam for Rosalind? Was that David?
David, yeah.
Yeah. So he was in love with her. And then she died. And he made a robot, maybe.
To sound and act like her?
To sound and act like her.
Hope.
That's so sad.
All right. So here's the background on David.
All right.
Before the before the Great War, David Thorpe was visiting the ski slopes at the top of the world with his lover, Rosalind Jeffries, who he had planned on leaving his wife for. After the bombs fell, David and Rosalind joined the Raiders, with David becoming the leader of the Cutthroat Gang. According to Maria Chavez in a holotape, The Christmas Flood, David was the one deemed responsible for turning the survivors in Pleasant Valley into a raider gang. After the leaders of Charleston denied them aid, they turned to violent tactics. When Rosalind was captured by the responders, he stole a mini nuke from the Brotherhood of Steel to destroy the Somerville Dam, flooding Charleston and leaving a heavy blow to the responders.
Wait, why are the responders want to just for political reasons to take her hostage?
Well, probably to try to slow down the attacks by the Raiders.
The Raiders, yeah.
They're saying, okay, when we now have her, you're going to stop attacking all of our settlements or settlers or all of the outposts or whatnot.
And so
she died in the responders' care. Does it say how?
Well, she died in the flood.
Oh.
So destroyed those. She was in the Capitol building.
She was in the cell in the Capitol building, and David, I thought he broke the dam because he was sad she died. He broke the dam because she was kidnapped, and he ended up being the cause of her demise.
Yep.
Well, he's
tragedy.
Cutthroats. He's cutthroat.
Cut his own throat.
Yeah.
And at some point before 2102, David became infected with the scorched plague.
Now, that's what we're led to believe, that is basically everyone who was alive at one point in the 25 years since the bombs fell. They're all scorched or ghouls at this point. David, also one of them, didn't escape that fate.
Yep. So in the Key to the Past quest, the player is tasked by Rose to do a mercy killing on David, retrieving the piece of the Raider stash code.
Oh, because he was infected.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she loves him.
Oh, you guys, that's so sad. She's still annoying.
Yes, she is.
So horrible. How could she?
But that is so sad.
Yeah. So, anyone who says there's no storytelling in this game, there you go. Thought that was nicely done.
Yeah,
we
totally.
kind of had to piece it together and figure it out. Like, it wasn't a blatant story,
right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you scratched at the surface a little bit, there's some eloquent storytelling there. Enjoyed that. So where are we on the quest? Does that wrap us up with David? No, we have to get the key card and make a master key and stuff. We go to find that off of Rosalind's body.
Right.
Do we
in
find
the
her
Capitol
body?
building?
She is still in. Is her body still in the cell? What do we find in her cell?
Just her.
And she has a
So the key card or the so when you look up the information on the terminal, that gives the location of the master key.
She has a code, is what it is. Rosalind had the know-how to turn those 5 pieces into the master key because she had some special code, and Rose was sending us to. Now that I know that Rose is Rosalind, it's weird that Rose is sending us to herself to get her own information. And that
Well-
makes the big reveal here in about 30 seconds much more apparent. And like I slap myself in the forehead saying, no, duh, dummy.
Yeah. So when you do that, you find out that she sent you on a wild goose chase.
Yeah, she's
Mhm.
doing this on purpose to distract
Mhm.
you.
Because all along the key card is underneath a rug in the ski chalet outside of the top of the world.
And can you go and grab this and skip all this bullshit, Ray?
I doubt it. They never let you do that.
Those sons of bitch. That yeah. I enjoy the main quest a lot. I don't know if I need to do Rose's part a whole lot of times.
No. So the one so when she tells you when you're in the Capitol building and you come out, and she reveals the fact that she sent you on a wild goose chase trying to get you killed. She'd let you know that one of the items that's in the stash is the transponder that the responders had discovered.
The piece that guy that's dead in the cage up at the top of the world with Rose, he
Yeah.
was looking for it, right?
Yep.
Mm.
So now, yeah, Madigan.
Madigan.
So the other thing that you find out is that in order to get the stash, you need a claim check because the robot that is the bellhop managing the room where the stash is will only give it to you if you have a claim check.
So how do you get that? I actually, this is where I ended the quest. I haven't gone past this part. What is up with the claim check? How do you get that?
Not really sure. I looked everywhere and couldn't find one. So there's got to be something around there. But I checked the corpses of all the scorched and all the containers, and I couldn't find one anywhere. So I got the transponder that I needed, but of course it's broken.
So you have to take it to 12 different places to get it fixed, right?
Yeah. So this is where they send you to meet up with the Free Staters.
Free states, yeah. So that's where the quest, Key to the Past ends. They start to send you off to the Free States bunker for repair. And that I believe also ends. Is that Missing Link?
Yeah.
It's just those 3 quests too. So this is one of those double dip things where you get XP for Key to the Past and also closing out. Yeah, you get the nice umbrella quest for Missing Link as well. I believe I leveled up because of that. Getting that.
Well,
double
so
dip.
actually, it looks like it doesn't officially end until you go to the Free State bunker.
Oh, nice. I jetted over there.
I've never been to that side of the map.
It gets hairy over there, Ray. And they got the mire and fog crawlers and anglers, and it's like
I'm
like
gonna
Far
need a bigger
Harbor.
bat.
It's like Far Harbor on steroids or something. They've got these. I know that they had them in Far Harbor, right? The hermit crabs that were in trucks and stuff. They had those in 4, right?
Yeah.
These are even more dangerous for some reason. I don't know why. The mire's bad news.
Fabulous.
Try to go do a couple XP boost runs if you can find some nuke zones in a hazmat suit.
Yeah, I still don't even have a hazmat suit.
Yeah, power stations. If you're gonna grab one, that all the power
Mhm.
stations. One. So that'll wrap up our quest. Do you guys have anything else you wanted to get into this evening
No, I
before we
think
sign
covered it.
off? Before we sign off, we do have to check in, of course, with Radioactive Rebecca and see what she has boiling over there at Fallout Terminal Velocity. If anyone would like to participate in the Fallout Terminal Velocity program, where we just go his story and Radioactive Rebecca is requesting information on any and all cultural aspects of the Commonwealth Wasteland, the Capital Wasteland, any terminals that you like through any of the Fallout games, any of the series, even the Mojave Wasteland, any of that stuff that you want to enjoy, even 1 and 2. We don't care. If you like any of those terminals from any of your favorite Fallout games and you'd like to hear your voice on the podcast, please get a hold of Radioactive Rebecca at Fallout Terminal Velocity at Outlook.com. And you guys can touch base and get some locations settled. We now have a spreadsheet up in the Facebook group, so you can see which locations have been chosen and who has done what. If you'd like to join the Facebook group, we encourage doing that. We have lots of good conversation and stuff going over there. So contact Radioactive Rebecca if you would like to be a participant in the Fallout Terminal Velocity project. We appreciate everyone's participation, and it's been really fun so far. So let's continue on with actually this is me, weird, Atomic Andrew, and I think we're over here. This is another Fallout 76 entry, so sort of appropriate here. I think this might be something we talked about last week or 2 weeks ago. Howdy, folks. Atomic Andrew here, continuing my trip through Appalachia. We're touring up in the forest region, and we found an old place called Greg's Mine Supply that had been renovated, and they got the old terminals and stuff working inside. So, sort of tourist trap, they coax you inside to look at all the stuff from way back when. Anyway, we found Greg's terminal inside. I thought it was pretty interesting. Let's take a look. Entry 1, day 45, version 0.34. Previous test. Not sure what happened to my previous notes. Probably need a terminal upgrade, but that's got to wait. Besides, I doubt my past failures are going to be that helpful anyway. Version notes. Got rid of the spinning pickaxes on the front. As soon as they hit rock, they either broke or the machine ground to a halt. Swapped the motor out with one from the truck out back. It's a bit too powerful, so still working on how to control the torque. It's also loud. Next entry, day 48, version 0.35. Previous test. Nearly ripped out the drill bit and the shaft melted. Not to mention the rumbling just about shook my building to the ground. Took no time at all for old Mrs. Withers from across the street to start banging on my door. Told her it was an accident, but not sure she bought it. Version notes. Changed out the bit on the front with one from the industrial equipment, wired in an old terminal to the circuit board to have it control the speed and the torque. Next entry. Day 55, version 0.36. Previous test. The mine foreman was back today asking about my work on the automated mining equipment I promised. Had to tell him something, but not sure he believes me any more than my neighbors. What am I supposed to do? I can tell him anything he wants to know about mining gear, but I know jack about computers. I've got a week left to show him something. Version notes. Swapped out the terminal for a salvaged Protectron's old circuit board. Added treads from a sentry bot that Carl procured. Next entry. Day 63. Version XX. Previous test. What a nightmare. That Protectron / industrial drill / sentry bot hybrid Nearly swept off the foreman's head when I tried to show it off out back. Took him no time to cancel our contract and kill my future. I've sunk everything into this last-ditch effort to upgrade my business. If I don't act soon, I'm going to lose everything. I bet that crotchety moneybags Miss Withers would love that. Version notes. Blank. End of entries. Again, please contact Radioactive Rebecca if you'd like to participate in our little history of the Fallout Universe project. Tonight we have one email. Oh, listener Keith. Hey, Keith. Great to hear from you. Like Keith, I mentioned earlier, we ran around a couple weeks ago and would do the signal strength quest together. Keith writes, "Howdy. I was wondering, when you log into play, what's your process of getting ready? Meaning, the steps you take to prepare before you go out into the wasteland. I usually just manage my weight inventory and make sure I have enough food and water for myself and make sure my weapons are not damaged. I also always try before I end my gaming for the day to go to my camp to sleep. Thanks, Keith." Ray, do you have a little routine that you like to leave your character in some sort of status before you log off or log right after you log on? Do you have a little thing you go through?
No, usually it depends. Before I shut down, I try to figure out where I want to be next. And get to that space. So that the next time that I log on, I'll be in that area.
So what does that mean really though? Is it like, okay, I'm going to do my roundtable quest, so I want to be over here getting ready, or I need plastic to bulk some junk, so I need to be over at the Morgantown High School, or what do you mean? What dictates where you leave your character? Do you not leave them at your camp?
No, typically not, because I can always get to my camp, via fast travel.
That's always a free travel. You're right.
Yeah. So, oftentimes it'll be, if I'm running low on lead, I'll park myself outside of the little hotel outside of Flat Springs or Flatwoods. So that I can go collect the barbells. Yeah, I don't really do the plastic thing because I don't bulk. I finally got my stash to the limit, and then I gave away some water and lightened it up.
Water's damn heavy in the game.
Well, especially I think at that point I had 217 just in my stash.
Yeah.
So
you don't need 21 pounds of water just in your stash. That's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't really have much of a routine.
Sarah?
I don't really have a routine at all. I just hop in, check out where I left off. If I need to head back to my camp and do some stuff, I will. But I just want to get out there and start playing.
Jess has brought up routines that she gets into, but hers is more like the play cycle as she's leaving her camp before she gets into whatever questing she's doing. She'll take a couple of workshops and do this and that and the other, do the plastic run, do little cycles up to the cat house for the plastic bowls and Morgantown High School there down the road. Stuff like that before she gets into real questing. I'm not that dedicated. Sometimes I'll do the workshops where I get the black titanium extractor going and then go up and do the workshop and get the acid extractor going. That's about as detailed as I go into. But really, I leave my character at camp a lot of the time. Now that Ray mentions the free fast travel back to camp at any time, I do kind of realize that is silly a little bit to have to go back to camp every time. But then I would ask Ray, what do you do for your XP boost? Because I always have a bed at home. So whenever I start a game session, this is part of the routine, like Keith was mentioning. I like to sleep in the bed because once you get up, you get a 5% XP boost. I will also try to eat a cranberry cobbler because that is also another XP boost on top of that. I will also check my cards and make sure all of my cards are set, because usually when I come home from my adventuring and leave my character, I have a shutdown routine as well, where you'll go to a workbench and you'll scrap all your junk so that it's light as possible, so that when you throw that into your stash, it takes up as least room as possible. And then you can go over to your workbench, the chemistry bench, and smelt all of your ore down to scrap, so that saves that takes some weight off as you use the acid, and it takes some weight off as you use the ore and get that down to scrap. So I scrap all that stuff, get the ore down, scrap all of my weapons that I don't need. If I'm collecting rifles and shotguns, I will, because I'm trying to build like one epic of each of those, like a combat shotgun and a radium rifle or a combat rifle. So I will collect those and break those down. Besides the junk, break the junk down. Do the ore smelting. Then I'll go over to the tinker bench. I will bulk up any junk that I just have a ton of that I'm not really planning on using quite yet, or for selling later. I'd mentioned a couple of weeks ago that I kind of stopped doing the vendor. I've started every once in a while. We'll take some bulked items to a vendor now. Let's see. In the shutdown part, yeah. That's basically it. Break down stuff, get everything as light as possible, toss all that into the stash, get every weapon out of my inventory except for my Deathclaw gauntlet. And sometimes I will carry a ballistic rifle of some sort with me, but I will get rid of all of my weapons. I will get rid of all of the armor that I don't want, and I usually don't allow that stuff in my stash. Unless I'm scrapping it, I will break it down to learn if there's any mods on the weapons or anything like that for rifles and shotguns and stuff. But I've kind of basically stopped picking up most of the other kinds of guns to scrap those. I'm only picking up the kind of weapons that I'm aiming for to learn those mods. So, it's basically just breaking everything down, Keith, getting everything as lightweight as possible. But that also means that when I've been doing that, and then I'll make ammo too sometimes now that I've started to do that a little bit. That's part of it, because that gets rid of some of the lead and aluminum, and it makes it a little bit more lightweight. That's part of your scrapping and getting everything as lightweight as possible, is making your ammunition as well. And, I basically just go down the row and hit all of the workstations. I'll, break down the armor, improve my armor. If anything is below 25%, I will repair my armor and make sure that is ready to go for the next day. I will repair all of my gauntlets, make sure those are ready to go. I will break down any shotguns and rifles I've collected to learn those mods. So yeah, I do have a repetitive sort of pattern that I do. It's basically, if you boil it down, it's basically just making everything as lightweight as possible and getting shit out of my inventory. I dump legendaries like crazy at this point. If I pick up stuff that I'm not going to use, it just goes in a brown paper bag, and then I log off and it's gone forever. I'm not. there's not a ton of stuff that I'm collecting and holding on to. If I look onto our spreadsheet and I see people are looking for specific items and I happen to have one of those, then I'll hang on to it for someone so I can trade it. But generally, this game has taught me to not be a hoarder and to be just fucking ruthless with my inventory. I can just throw everything away now and not have to really think about it. It was really hard the first couple of months, there's like, ooh, I really want to use this, but now I don't care. It's just like, fuck it, it's gone. You know what I mean?
No, that's why I'm only level 23.
Yeah.
So if you do happen to go on these XP binges into a blast zone, you will end up with just crazy amounts of legendary items that are the most useless pieces of crap you've ever. You're like, I've got a legendary scorch killing pitchfork. You're like, oh, okay, great. I've got, a left leather a leg that does, more damage to Mirelurks. Who cares? It's just a lot of stuff that you won't ever really use. But you just get a ton of it, and everyone thinks, oh, well, you can go sell it, but you only get 20, 30 caps max for the really good stuff from the vendors. So I just end up dumping it. It's not worth the effort of fast traveling and selling and doing all that. But hence, I don't really have a ton of caps either. I know a lot of people use the legendary items farming as a good source of caps in the game. But, so that's my pattern, Keith. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do to get your character ready at the end of the day before you sign off or when you sign on. I kind of have a little routine for both. But the real key is when you're doing all the stuff at the end of the day, I have the card set up. I've got like my the crafting cards, the ammunition cards, the ones that make you less hungry when you're at home at a camp, and the ones that this, that, and the other. I have gone out adventuring and wondering why why is my armor not doing as well? Why are my things breaking quickly? It's because I didn't swap out to my adventuring cards. I had my home cards on. And then I'll bring up again, we need load out. So you can just quickly swap 10 cards in and out for each other so I don't have to go manually change each card. It gets a little long in the tooth. You know what I'm saying? A little slow. Keep changing cards all the time. I'm getting pretty good at being fast about it, though. The menu was clunky at first. I didn't understand the cards up and down. Getting pretty good at it now, though. All right. Thank you for the email, Keith. Contact Radio Rebecca for Fallout Terminal Velocity. One piece of news I found interesting on the internet this week. I don't know what this means quite yet, but evidently Xbox Live used Minecraft sort of as a guinea pig for this process. But Xbox Live is coming to Nintendo Switch. So I found that interesting. You're going to be able to play a lot of Xbox games on my Switch now? I hope that's the case.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting cross-platform play, and Nintendo's not famous for that, so.
No. They're doing it with PC as well. And mobile devices.
Yeah, I think there's been an Xbox integration in Windows 10 for a while now.
But they're kicking it out to tablets and phones and stuff too, which I think is a sort of big deal you can play. I don't know how that's going to work. That's crazy. It'll be great. So I'm excited. Hopefully that I'm not sure what it means quite yet, but hopefully I'll be able to play some cool Xbox games on my Switch when I'm at work. Now, I was sorely disappointed last year when the announcement wasn't made. Am I foolish for holding out hope that it's a possibility that Fallout 4 will someday be announced for the Switch?
Mm.
No, I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, they've got Skyrim, so
Skyrim works. It's
Huh?
I think basically the same game, but what do I know? I'm not a game programmer. I think that it looks like the same thing to me. Fallout 4 and Skyrim look like sort of the same game to me. Uh, New Vegas looks like a generation before, but Skyrim and Fallout 4 looks like a shinier version of Skyrim to me, as far as mechanics and stuff, you know?
yeah. I mean, as far as
But
I know, it's the same engine. So
yeah, very, very similar. So yeah, I'm hoping I might be fool's gold, but
I mean,
let's
there's
call
all kinds of Skyrim files in the Fallout 4 in the creation kit.
it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're. I mean, some of the categories and all kinds of stuff is in there. They just don't access it for Fallout 4. But magic is in there. A lot of the uh, Skyrim assets are in there.
Why is magic weird? Hey,
Yeah,
this is I was thinking about a difference between Fallout and Skyrim the other day. I was thinking, you know, it'd be great in Skyrim. Like in Fallout, you have all these armors that, like, you do more damage to super mutants. You take less damage from Mirelurks or something. I was like, what if I could find robes of kicking Khajiit ass or something, you know, or like armor of do more damage to dark elves. You know, that like I would like that, I think.
yeah.
It's like
Those
take
are in
less damage
mods.
fire. Oh, there are those in mods. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, sorry guys. I know I'm trying to sign off the show here, but I heard multiplayer Skyrim mod is very promising coming out soon.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, there's been quite a bit of talk about it.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Ray, we have any Skyrim stuff you need to mention for the Skyrim Roundtable or anything?
No, we don't have a date and time for the next episode, so but the quests are up on the website. We've got a couple of shows that'll be coming up. One will be a feedback show, I think next week, and then another modding episode as well.
Yeah, I'm playing along on my Switch on my lunch breaks at work. So I've sent in some feedback for my character, Gazel. I suggest anyone who'd like to play some the Hearthfire houses, and they're playing some quests around each of those. Anyone who's playing Fallout and never really checked out Skyrim before, I highly suggest it. Play along in this Fallout round or the Skyrim Roundtable. Ray is one of the hosts, along with Michael, Colin, and Victor, and I believe Juan is on there a lot too. Even Steven is there, but I believe some of the roundtable recording sessions because of Colin and location of the UK and stuff. They try to do that on the weekend, and that doesn't work with Steven's work schedule so much. So I don't think he can do many of the roundtable episodes.
Yeah, but check
really
out his
solid.
videos. He's doing YouTube videos of his characters playthrough.
Great.
They're really good.
Yeah, it's a really solid cast of characters and hosts over there at the Skyrim Roundtable. So if you haven't ever listened to that show or played that game, I suggest the Fallout Feed gives a 2 thumbs up. Everyone head over there and check out the Skyrim Roundtable and the good work those folks are doing over there. So on that note, I will say, Ray, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Always a pleasure.
Sarah, was a pleasure speaking with you this evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I'd like to thank everyone for listening to this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable, and we will see you in the wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the wasteland.